Would you look at that? We are back again, everybody. I started posting like little clips on my Instagram, so if you're not following me over there, you should, you should go do that. Alright, I'm not gonna waste any time. Let's just get right into this. It's gonna be amazing. People will trust a loaf of bread off the shelf with just a twist tie, but they insist on at least 2 layers of tamper-resistant seals for any product that they put on the bread. Oh my god. I mean, yeah. I feel like it's just understood, like you don't f with the bread, It's like nobody does that. You never hear about that. I feel like everyone just has this like respect or this courtesy to just like, this is the bread aisle. Like you don't play games here. You don't mess with it, even though it's just a simple light piece of plastic and a little twist tie thing and it's twisted up. That's all it takes. And you don't mess with that. Everybody knows that it's like, you don't do that. The fact that I never even thought of it like that, like everything else, even if you're gonna like open a drink or something, you gotta crack the seal of the bottle. Anything else, there's always like a seal on it, but with bread, it's just that little twist tie. And yet everyone understands that you don't with it. And that's amazing. So this is a good one. I've thought about this before. You can argue with someone on the internet and then coincidentally meet them in person and be kind to them without either of you knowing it all. Yes. You see, this is the interesting thing about the internet is that most people, like, they're not gonna say things to your face. Like, no one's gonna say that mean comment to your face, but when they can do it, like, anonymously over the internet, like a little creep, then then it's much easier to do it. Like, if you met them in person, you'd probably be really nice to them. Like, because you don't know them like that, Like, it's really easy to just like say something negative about like a famous person or whatever, like comment on their videos, something hateful. But I guarantee if you met that person in real life, like you wouldn't say anything to them. You'd probably actually end up liking them and be like, oh wow, this person's actually kind of cool. I mean, unless they're just like and then it's like, then that person just sucks. But either way, it's like probably not. Being with people who don't listen is lonelier than being alone. Yes and no. When you're saying something, especially if it's like something meaningful to you, and you're like trying to tell other people about it, you're like excited to tell them, and they just like, that you could see it. You could always tell like when someone just doesn't care at all. Yeah, because then it makes you feel like, wow, this person doesn't even care. Like I'm sharing this information with them and they don't care. So yeah, that definitely sucks. Because when you're alone, you're just alone. But like when you're with someone and you're trying to like talk to them or whatever and they just blatantly don't care, like that stings. The fancier a restaurant is, the more disappointing the food is when it's in a takeout container. Okay, takeout always sucks, alright? Like, let's just get one thing straight, okay? I'm trying to like sit up. I feel like I'm not really in frame. It could be in that stupid little container for like 5 minutes and it already like the food just gets nasty and it gets like soggy. I was talking about this the other day, okay? It's just terrible. Some places it's not as bad. I feel like everyone can agree on this. French fries are terrible. If you get takeout, if they're in there for like more than 5 minutes, you're probably screwed. They're not gonna taste good, they're gonna be terrible, and you're basically just gonna end up throwing them out. Being on your phone all day went from sounding very sociable to very unsociable within the span of a decade. Yeah, ooh. Like, the whole thing with social media being on your phone, so, okay. Like, me personally, I'm probably on my phone too much, okay? I don't want to check my screen time because I'm gonna be terrified, okay? That's why I don't do it yet. I just assume that I probably need a break. I don't need to see the number, okay? That's it. I don't need to see it. I could just safely assume that, you should probably put that down. You should probably just take a break. You know it's bad too, like, say you're on Instagram, right? And you close the app out, but then you just instinctively just open it back up like immediately. You ever do that? Yeah, that's when you know you should probably put that phone down because you've been on it for too fucking long. That's usually the sign for me anyway. You're like, oh god, we gotta chill out. Everyone just, take it easy. Like it's obviously getting worse, but also I feel like people are opening up to the idea, like they're understanding more that it's like not good to be on your phone all day. So I feel like more and more people are kind of putting it down and just not being on their phone as much. They're being mindful of it. I mean, I could be completely wrong. It could just be the speculation, but that's what it kind of feels like. It's definitely a problem. I don't think that you should be staring at social media all day. I think that it can be great, but it can also be pretty toxic at the same time. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of years. It's just a different way of communicating. It's not like you're not being social with, like you're still communicating with others, so I don't know. That's a weird, that's a strange topic. You spend hours a day rubbing glass. Yeah, and I love it, okay? It's amazing. That is weird, you know? Because you don't think of it like that. Just constantly, like, just scrolling on the phone all day. Whatever. I don't care, alright? Leave me alone, okay? This is amazing. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was age restricted, but it was everyone's childhood game. Yeah. Okay, so I got a good story about specifically San Andreas too. I had PlayStation 2 at the time, and I obviously couldn't buy the game, because at the time I was like, I don't know, 10 or something. I was younger, okay? And I remember, like, you know, my mom obviously wasn't gonna get it for me, because she'd look at it, she'd be like, no, like, no, this game is terrible. And I was like, fuck, man. So I was at one of my friend's house, and I played the game there. And, like, I remember coming back, and I was telling my younger brother about it, and I was like, dude, like, fucking, you gotta hear this, dude. I played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Like, I felt like such a fucking badass, but I couldn't say anything because I didn't want my mom to find out about it. Because, I don't know, like, I felt like I was gonna get in trouble or something, because I like, wasn't supposed to be playing that game. I remember back then, too, I heard on the radio that they were, like, trying to get rid of, like, the Grand Theft Auto games, because, you know, the whole, like, video games and violence thing and all that bullshit. And I just remember getting really nervous about it. I was like, no, like, they can't, like, that sucks, because these games are, like, it was, you know, they're fun games. Yeah, I was kind of sweating a little bit when I heard that on the radio. I was like, this can't be happening. This is terrible. The value of freebies a celebrity has received from companies hoping for a free promotion might be more than you will earn in your lifetime. Oof. This is interesting, okay? Like, you hear all the time, like bigger creators on YouTube specifically, like, they get sent, like, computers or TVs from companies, and it's like, that's fascinating. It's like they're just trying to be like, hey, you know, we're just gonna send you a TV. That's all. You just enjoy it. Maybe mention it in your video. I don't know. It's like they try to do this, and it's hilarious. Hey, I mean, listen, okay, if anyone wants to reach out to me and send me free stuff, I would gladly take it, okay? Please, alright? I definitely wouldn't mind free things. So any companies watching this right now, just, you know, hit me up. Maybe we can, you know, get something going. I was listening to H3 podcast one time, and it was the one with PewDiePie on it, and he was talking about how he went to, like, I think it was like Disney World or something like that. I don't know. It was one of the, like, theme parks or whatever. But he got, like, free tickets. He had this, like, VIP pass. Like, he didn't really have to wait in lines or anything. It's just funny because at one point in that podcast, he said, like, the more money you make, the less you have to pay. And I was like, that's really interesting to think about, you know? It's weird because making videos used to be, like, this intangible thing, and now it's like everyone can do it if you have, like, a smartphone and internet connection. So to be able to, like, get good enough at it and to be able to become popular enough to the point where, like, these companies reach out to you and they just send you stuff, and it's like, I don't know, it's fascinating and I love it. I think it's awesome, but it's like, it's strange when you think about it. I don't know, maybe it's not that big of a deal, but I think about that and I'm like, that's so crazy. Like, that because it used to be something that no one could really do, and now pretty much everyone has access to it. So yeah, it's fun to think about. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, New York must have extremely high property insurance rates. Okay, so you ever be watching an action movie or something and you see like the buildings getting destroyed and, like, all this damage and, like, this action going on, and the one thing I always think of is, like, wow, like, how long does that take to clean up? Like, that's crazy, you know? Like, obviously it's not a real movie, but I just think, like what if something like that happened? Like, you know, what do you do? Like, if there's like 5 buildings, like an entire city gets destroyed like that, it's like, what do? You know? Like, someone's gotta clean, like, you gotta clean that up. That's gotta take forever. It's just, I always thought about that whenever I would, like, watch those movies, and I always thought it was, like, fascinating. When a person is drinking beer, both the person and the beer are being drunk. Yeah, most people don't actually know how to cook, they just know how to read. See, this is something I've always wanted to know how to cook, you know? But, like, not just, like, read a recipe and just kind of throw... No. I want to be so good at it to the point where, like, you just know what to do. You just know how to throw stuff together. I mean, I guess, obviously, it's like, you know, you just start out by reading recipes and then you get good at it. Obviously, like, that's the process. But, like, to be at that point where you're just like, no, I know what this needs. Like, if you made something, let's say you made like a sauce or something, right? And you know, you just taste it real quick and you're like, oh, I know what this needs right now. This needs a little bit of salt or pepper or whatever the hell. You know, I think that's like one of the most interesting things ever is people who are like really good at cooking. I always appreciate that. There are probably a lot of talented singers who we will unfortunately never get to hear due to them not pursuing that career. Oof. Yeah, man. I thought about this a lot. I was like, can you imagine the amount of people who like have this really good talent, they just don't really know it yet, or they're like too shy or like embarrassed like by it or something like that. Like they don't have the confidence to actually show other people. And that's like such a heartbreaking thing for me, because it's like if you have all this talent but you're just scared to show other people, like that sucks. Because you could easily like pursue that, and if you're really good at it, like you could go so far with that, but it's just like that fear holding you back, and that really sucks. Because I feel like now it's like, you know, you want to try something and people just, they try to like tear it down. They're like, oh, that's not realistic. Like, no, you can't do that. Like, I mean, maybe this is just me like exaggerating a little bit, but this is how it feels for me. Is like what I see a lot is a lot of people like just trying to drag others down and just trying to deter them and being like, oh no, you don't want to do that, or you shouldn't do that. It's too hard to make it there. It's like, why is it a bad thing to try new things? And I think that's why a lot of people don't really like pursue any of that, because they're afraid to put themselves out there, because maybe they told someone and that person was just like, no, you know, don't bother doing that. That's crazy. And that sucks, because that person has no idea. It's like, just because you gave up on yourself doesn't mean that this person should. I get real fired up whenever I think about that, because it's like these people, man, they just want to drag you down. Like, for example, there's this one bodybuilder that I follow. His name is Simeon Panda, and like he posted a video a while back of him like doing like MMA training or something like that, and someone commented on his video. It was something like, oh, you're not that good at this, like stick to weight training or something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why is it a bad thing for him to do? Like, do you care that much? Like, why are you trying to deter him? Why are you trying to tear him down? Let him do his thing, all right? If he wants to do that, then let him. Like, why you gotta come in here with your opinions that no one wants? Like, get out. God. I don't know, I hate that. It's so annoying. It's like, why you gotta try to tear everyone else down? Go do your own thing, alright? Mind your own business. Alright, so I think that's it for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you are not. It helps out. I post twice a week, so make sure to turn on those notifications so you do not miss that, and I will see you in the next one.